He held a leather folder under his arm, moving with the calm confidence of someone who didn't need to announce authority. His gray suit was plain, but it carried weight anyway. His eyes scanned the folding table, the printed violation forms, the HOA signage, and Brenda standing there like she was still in control of the situation. His expression didn't shift at all. He walked straight up to her and spoke in a steady voice that cut through the entire moment. "Who authorized this auction?" Brenda lifted her chin immediately, as if she had been waiting for exactly this question. The Cedar Ridge HOA Board approved this enforcement under Municipal Compliance Statute 4B. Everything has been properly filed. The man gave a slow, measured nod, the kind people give when they already know how the truth ends. Then he opened the folder. The first document was the original property deed, Arthur Mitchell, 1991, county stamped, legally recorded, undisputed ownership. Brenda looked at it without reacting. The second document was a certified boundary survey, recently updated, clearly mapping the HOA jurisdiction lines. He placed it beside the deed. The property sat 430 feet outside their authority. Not close enough to argue, not close enough to bend. The third document was a formal county registry notice confirming no administrative hold existed on the property. The HOA filing that Brenda relied on required written county authorization. That authorization never existed. She had used a statute, but skipped the legal requirement that made it valid. He tapped the documents once. His voice stayed even, almost quiet. "This auction has no legal standing. The notices are void. Any buyer outreach is unauthorized. And this property has never been under your jurisdiction." That was the moment something changed in Brenda's face. Not anger, not defiance, just stillness. The realization that the structure she built her certainty on wasn't holding anymore. One of the board members behind her quietly stepped back from the table. Another folded the bid sheets without a word. The real estate agent who had been watching from a distance was already walking back toward his car. Within minutes, the setup began to dissolve. The folding table was taken down. The HOA signage disappeared. The buyers left without discussion, and Brenda stood alone near the gate for the first time. 3 days later, an emergency HOA meeting was held. We weren't there, but the outcome came quickly. 2 board members formally separated themselves from Brenda's actions. One retained legal counsel immediately. The rest voted to withdraw every notice, every fine, every document tied to property. Her authority didn't end loudly. It ended cleanly, quietly, like something being erased. Brenda resigned from the HOA shortly after. No statement, no explanation, just gone from a position she had treated like absolute power. That afternoon, the man in the gray suit, our attorney, sat at our kitchen table, the same house my grandfather built decades earlier. He reviewed everything calmly, answering questions without urgency. Before leaving, my mother finally asked what we had all been wondering. What exactly had made him so certain from the beginning? For the first time, he smiled slightly. "Your grandfather was careful," he said. "He kept a certified deed copy, a full boundary survey, and a notarized declaration stating this land could never be placed under private authority. Ever." He paused, and he updated it every 10 years. The last one was filed just months before he passed. My mother covered her mouth in silence. My uncle just stared out at the fields. No one had ever told us. Not once. He had simply prepared everything quietly, long before anyone thought to challenge it. The property never changed hands. The auction never existed in any real legal sense. And Brenda's control over it didn't collapse in a dramatic fight or courtroom battle. It ended with a folder placed on a folding table by a man who never once raised his voice. My grandfather didn't fight her after he was gone. He made sure she could never win in the first place.